Hi there YouTube, this is Daniel back again with another YouTube video, but this time I'm gonna make an overview video, and it's my first overview, so it's basically just gonna be me showing you these beautiful books and to let you know what they are like in person. Sin City is, as you know, created by Frank Miller, and it debuted in the Dark Horse anthology magazine Dark Horse Present, and in its 5th anniversary special edition magazine, and the following 12 issues after that issue followed in the Dark Horse Presents anthology magazine. Then it took a break and then it came back, and that's how it was released in like limited runs in the following decade basically. As you can see, the slipcases here in front of me are set 1 and 2, and on the cover here we have this beautiful red foil like material stamped on top of the slipcase, which basically make out the Sin City logo. And on the back of the slipcase spine, or the face of the slipcase, I don't know what you want to call it, but you have the same red foil on top of the black here, which basically says Sin City and Frank Miller Library set 1 and 2. And as you can see at the back of these slipcases there are basically nothing. And here we have the actual spines of the individual books. There are 8 in total, and 7 of those are stories, and the 8th, the red one, is the Art of Sin City, which basically collects all the extra materials for all of the runs. And in these 2 hardcover sets, the first set contains the 4 first story arcs basically, and they total in 840 or so pages, and the Sin City set 2 totals in 736 pages, including the artwork or the art book. So let's just take a look on each individual book themselves and show you some of the artwork on the individual hardcovers, so to say. Here we have volume 1 of Sin City, and it's called The Hard Goodbye, and it collects those issues I was talking about, the Dark Horse Presents issues 1 through 13. And I believe that's Marv, one of the main characters, on the front of the cover. Here we have the second hardcover, and this story arc is called A Dame to Kill For, and it collects issues 1 through 6. And I believe that's Ava, one of the other main characters for the entire series. Here we have Sin City's book 3, and it's called The Big Fat Kill, and most of it takes place in Old Town, and it's a very Dwight heavy story, and I believe that's one of his love interests called Shelley, and it collects issues 1 through 5 of this limited run. Here we have the story arc called, or the 4th book and story arc called That Yellow Bastard. It collects issues 1 through 6, and I believe that that's the story where we follow John Hardigan, the detective that rescues Nancy Callahan from that yellow bastard, and that's where we have the name for the story arc, That Yellow Bastard. And that's one of the story arcs that was heavily influential, along with The Hard Goodbye and The Big Fat Kill, for the first Sin City movie basically. And I believe we have Nancy Callahan here with John Hardigan on the front cover. Here we have book 5 of the series. It's called Family Values, and what stands out here is that this was not released in single issues, it was instead created as a graphic novel for the series, and it totals in 128 pages. Here we have book 6 in the series, and it's called Booze, Broads and Bullets. What stands out here is basically that it's an expansive compilation of short stories or one-shots. It totals in 11 of them, which basically ties all of those different limited runs together. It gives you some backstory and extra information that's needed to basically follow it all. Here we have book 7 and the last story in Sin City, and it's called Hell and Back, and it's the longest Sin City story to date, and it collects issues 1 through 9. And on the cover I believe we have Wallace and Esther, which are basically the main characters in the story. And here we have the beautiful extra material book, The Art of Sin City, which basically has some commentary to sketches and alternative covers and stuff like that. Here's a sample of how the binding looks, and I chose the 4th book, That Yellow Bastard, and let's just show you how the pages look and how the book holds open, or if it holds open by itself. And the first thing I see here is that it has the individual issues, the covers for them, and it's in this extra thick paper stock, which doesn't bend well, which makes it basically want to shut close by itself. But hey, it's just a few pages in, and you can already see the binding going to work. And let's just get a few pages in to see how it holds up. And here we have the problem I suspected with this, that these hard, extra thick and hard paper stock for each individual issue basically wants the book to shut close. But as you can see, the binding looks phenomenal on these books, and you do need to work holding the book down, but overall there's no real gutter loss anywhere in the book. As you can see, in the middle or close to the middle it stays open by itself, and towards the end you still probably need to hold the book to have it stay open. I really hope that you didn't think I was gonna leave you without showing you some of the extra materials, and here they are. And I really did appreciate that Dark Horse put together this book for these slipcases, and allows you to see Frank Miller's sketches and some variant covers and some process art and stuff like that. I really do like these type of extra materials. They did not include any scripts into this, but I am a sucker for the artwork, so I'm happy anyways. And we are introduced to this book with this lengthy introduction, which I like. And I'm just gonna flip through this real quick to give you an idea of the artwork included in this volume. And there are all of these different sketches and finished process work, and the binding on this book is just fantastic as well. As you can see, the binding here looks really good, and towards the end here we have the variant cover gallery. Different high-profile artists wanted to interpret his art in these different variant covers, which looks amazing. Brian Bolland among others. So I'm really happy that they included these as well. So thank you for watching my Sin City Library Edition overview, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about these books or any other books that I might have, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you have any suggestions about a book review or a pickup you think I should do, just leave me a comment. Bye bye.